do one more of these, don't I? It's been 4 years, I think. It's been 4 years. I don't know. I don't care. Hello there guys, QwertyAfro here. Welcome back to another video, and I thought, you know what, 2019, it's here, it's ready for me, and let's do QA's Q&A number 2, because number 1 was like almost about 4 years ago, but you know, it's never too late. It's never too late. I've collated questions over the year, well, not over the, well, no, but I got some questions from that first video that some people that actually did listen to me, what I actually did say in the video, of like leaving me some questions in the comment section. I also took some questions from the QWERTY forums link, if you don't know what the QWERTY forums is, and one thing for 2019, and I do apologise if I'm going to be a bit of a buzzkill. I'm going to get rid of shout outs and probably QWERTY forums altogether, because it just turned into a huge jumble of a mess with people just wanting shout outs. And if you look at all my comment sections, pretty much I can guarantee you can find always that one person that goes, can I have a shout out? And I can't be bothered to explain to new people, existing people, annoying people that just always ask for a shout out. My channel was never really about shout outs. I only did that as a good gesture, but I just can't be bothered to do it anymore. So shoutouts are, I do apologise, they are ending. Sorry to end to begin your 2019 in a bit of a bad mood. I skimmed through a lot of stuff on the QWERTY forums, and I picked out stuff that I thought was just about okay, because most of them were, where's OMSI? What's your favourite train? What's your favourite bus? When's OMSI coming to the channel? And when are you going to play OMSI? And just everything that I just don't want to really hear right now. So obviously, if I don't answer those questions that most people posted, you know why? Because I skimmed through all of that, ignored most of it. Yeah, I'm not going to really talk much more about like all those kind of questions that keep popping up, and I'm just like, I can't be bothered anymore really. I've answered most of those kind of questions over the years multiple times. I know there's new people about, but I can't, like, I get a bit sick and tired of just answering the same sort of question again. So apologies, but you know, it was a lot. I had to go through over 600 entries to kind of compile for this Q&A. QA's Q&A number 2. I also posted up like recently, just in the new year, that I was doing this, and I would have questions from Facebook. A couple of you replied on that. Also posted on the YouTube community, some people replied on that as well. Also on Twitter, I'm a lot more active on Twitter nowadays, so that's where you'll probably find me if you want to communicate to me. That's probably the best place, because I'm not really doing much YouTube at the moment. But yeah, got some questions from there, so we're going to go through all of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, as I said in the first one, if you have any more questions for me, leave them down below. We'll see if number 3 can be at least within this year. Right, get my speckies on. So we have questions from the video that was 4 years ago. Now that's a long time ago, so opinions and stuff of these kind of questions might have changed. I do apologize, and maybe some of these people that ask these questions 4 years ago maybe don't even watch my videos, so sorry about that as well. First question in QwertyAfro's Q&A number 2 comes from Sam Rogers. QwertyAfro, do you think you will get 20,000 subscribers? Well, I think at the time that would probably be something I could answer. I've surpassed that quite a long time ago, and I think I'm near like 30,000 subscribers now. It's so crazy, isn't it? Like, I don't know. Back then I would say, oh, I didn't think so. It probably would have happened, and it probably would have taken time. Now I'm answering it as, well, it's happened. Another question on the video was, is your sister a gamer, or does she watch your videos? She seems to have knowledge on gaming, by GG Spiky. Obviously, if you knew 4 years ago when I did that first video, my sister recorded that video gave me all the questions. Unfortunately, Sarah's not behind the camera, it's just me by myself in here. She is sort of a gamer, I don't know, not like a gamer like me, even though right now, currently, I don't really play many games, but she and I used to play a lot of PlayStation 1 together, a lot of Wii, a lot of Wii U, kind of stuff like that. Right now, currently, we're kind of like playing through Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, the remake of that, because we played throughout all the Spyro games when we were younger on the PS1. So she kind of is a gamer, I suppose. You look like Richard Ayoade, if I'm saying his name right, by Fletcher Moore. Yeah, I get this a lot. Everyone says that I look like Richard Ayoade. I'll slap image here. People think I look like him. I can see the kind of resemblances. I can tell you right now, probably our humour. Well, actually, I do like his humour. I'm not gonna lie. I did watch the IT Crowd a bit when it was on years ago. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I like him. He's a cool comedian, and I can see the resemblances. I wouldn't, maybe if I like grew out like his kind of facial hair, dyed my hair back to kind of thing, and wore my other glasses, which is like the Ray-Ban ones with the hard black frames, then yeah, I could see the resemblances there. I have some questions by Joseph Walls. He says, is it okay to pee in the ocean? Do you want to have a sleepover? Have you lost weight? Peeing in the ocean, I think, is fine, I suppose. It's, well, 70% of the earth is covered in water, and to be honest, your pee doesn't really, it doesn't contaminate the ocean, you know. There's worse things that go into the ocean than just a bit of urine that comes out of your body. So I'd say, yeah, maybe it's okay. Do you want to have a sleepover? No. Have you lost weight? Well, I don't know. If you're asking that 4 years ago, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Since 4 years ago, I do look different, but yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I'm a lot healthier than I was 4 years ago, so that's to kind of keep you there in the loop. Takeoff, I remember Takeoff. I don't know if he still watches my videos. Asks me, what's your favourite station from the whole North London line on train sim? I'm gonna just answer it like maybe in real life as well. I don't really care. Like I don't get why people ask me what's my favorite station in a game, but like it could be related to real life as well, if you know what I mean, because it's the same sort of thing. Like, what's the difference with it in game? Oh, I prefer this station in game to this station in real life. I don't know. My favorite station on the North London line is probably Highbury and Islington. That took me too long to figure out there. I like the interchange there that you have with the East London line. Or maybe Wilson Junction, because that's my local station, and it also has an interchange between the West London line, North London line, and the Watford DC, and the Bakerloo. But I do like Highbury and Islington, it's quite nice. Would you ever grow back your afro? Neil Skay 145 asks. I don't know. In recent years, again, slapback picture. When I was in uni, when I was growing out my hair, and I only recently cut my hair last year, just before the summer, my hair was really long, and I brought out the afro back again, and it's not really a look I go for because it was a very kind of damaging way of maintaining my hair, and it's something I wouldn't want to repeat back my kind of like days of when I used to maintain my hair really poorly. And if I was to grow out my hair again, like there's just different ways that I do it. And when I had my hair long, I never really did it as an afro, because with my type of hair, it's very fair, and it's almost not delicate, but it's not as thick as like very conventional afro hair, where you could easily just brush it out and it's fine. But with my hair, it will go super frizzy, and it would basically damage it and go dry. So probably not. Question for the Q&A. What are your favourite adventure sport? P.S. I love the videos and streams, which I don't do anymore. So thank you for 4 years back, 4 years in the past, Bob Barnes. My favourite adventure sport? What's an adventure sport? I don't know. Like, a triathlon or something like that an adventure sport where you go through different things? Like, is cycling an adventure sport? I'm gonna say cycling maybe, because I don't know really what an adventure sport is. Skiing? Is skiing an adventure sport? I don't know, I've not really done many sports. My favourite sport I like to play is like tennis or badminton, if that helps to the question. And then FL66 of the last ones of that video asks, are you going to do another Q&A soon? Well, you're getting it 4 years late. Now from the QWERTY forms section, which as I said in the beginning, took a lot of time to decompile and compress and filter and just pick out something that I thought I could basically answer. Keyword OMSI2 Roblox, OMSI2 favorite train station, favorite train sim. What's the difference between train sim 15, 16, 17, 18, 19? But what is really the difference between train sim and this train sim compile? But we do have some questions, so let's kick it off. Kush underscore V19 asks, where are you from? I am from, I'm half Croatian, and the rest is basically British slash from the Caribbean, Dominican. Not the Dominican Republic, it's just the Dominica. Half Croatian, half Dominican slash British, basically. And I do speak Croatian. What is the key to creating a successful YouTube channel, and also what do I study? And I'm guessing this is from the past when I used to study. I get loads of these questions asking me what's the key thing for a YouTube channel. I really can't say. For me, you can look at my track record. I'm just not really committing that much to YouTube anymore. But the only thing I say is just be yourself. And that's really the only thing I can say to having a successful YouTube channel. You do see people that are fake and still have successful channels, but you know, that's the kind of that's how they're marketing themselves. But for me, I never did this to get views. I never did this for the money. I never did this to just, you know, have fame and stuff like that. More the opposite. Like, it's just, for me, it was just a hobby, and it still is. That's why there's no videos, because sometimes you think your hobby gets stale and it is just getting a bit boring for yourself. What is my favorite game by the awesome gamer 999? Currently, it's probably the Spyro trilogy game that I'm playing with my sister on PlayStation 4. Other than that, I don't really play much games anymore. Like, really, I'm really hit a point where I'm just not really interested in touching any sort of game. I like to watch kind of documentaries and videos and stuff like that more, and I just don't. And I play some tennis games on the side. That's the only kind of game I like playing passively if I want to actually, you know, have a play around with something. Like the Australian Open game and any of the top spins on like the PlayStation 3 and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm really not, like, simulation wise, I'm not really playing anything that people would expect me to play. So my favorite game right now is the Spyro trilogy that I'm playing with my sister. I'm enjoying that immensely. What was your best video that you've made? J14 the best asks. Oh, it's probably something that got edited crazily, like probably one of my vlogs or something like that. Like my journey to the depot in Acton was like a really, like, it took so long to edit. It's just probably one of the ones that really took long to edit. Most of my other videos are pretty much, you know, switch on, capture, go, and then just render and just minimal edit and stuff like that. So it's probably one of my videos that has taken quite a long time to edit. So it'd probably be the Acting Depot one, because it took me 3 years to release. And to be honest, it wasn't 3 years of editing. It was the first year of just editing and just giving up on it, and then just coming back to it every so often, basically. But there's probably something else in there that I'm not really thinking about, because I've made too many to really even recount them all. What's your biggest mistake on YouTube? Fuzzy Hair Gaming asks. Probably that I did YouTube, and people are going to be a bit surprised. I kind of wish in some reality that I didn't do YouTube, because in a way I don't really like the attention that I get with it. Like, it's great that I've met so many different kind of people that, like, said a similar interest, but for me, I've realized over the years that I'm very, like, personal. I'm very independent to myself and isolated, so it's taken a lot to get used to over the years. At the beginning, I kind of, like, it was like something exciting, and it was something that kind of was like, oh, you should have more viewers, and oh, it would be so cool to have more viewers and more people watching me. And that's the kind of, like, mentality I had when I was, like, a lot younger. And I think a lot of young kind of like teenagers, even young kids that want to break into YouTube want to have that kind of attention. And that's something that I was drawn to a bit when I was younger. But the more older I've got, I've just not really want it anymore. It's not really something I'm excited about anymore. Like, you know, some people would want to, you know, be in my position. Some people would love to have loads more subscribers and stuff that I've used. But for me, I'm cool, you know, I'm good. And so that's probably the mistake that I've done on YouTube, I would suppose. How long have you been doing YouTube? Do you like doing YouTube? Lord Killer Mask. Well, if you've been, well, if any of the kind of answers to my recent questions kind of alerts you, then I don't know, you can make that up for yourselves, guys, if you can tell if I do or not like doing YouTube. I do like doing it. Like I can't be kind of fully like, oh no, I hate it. But over the years, it's not really something that I crave as much as I did at the beginning. But I've been doing YouTube now for pretty much, I think, almost over 10 years now. Probably 11 or 12 years now, since I've done the QwertyAfro gaming sort of stuff with simulation stuff for about 6 years, I think. No, probably less than that, 5 or 4 years. 4 or 5 years. But I've been on YouTube before that. I had another gaming channel, and I did like different sort of videos before, like gaming and stuff. I did a lot of technology and mobile phone videos and stuff like that before that, so I've been on quite a long time. What's your most hated station, and do you like pie? Southern Train Spotting asks. I don't know, a train station I hate. It would have to be something obviously I've ridden on that maybe I personally don't like. I don't know. I've not really, to be honest, I don't travel great distances on train to really like have a station that I really hate. It'd probably have to be some sort of underground station in London that's just always mega busy and it's just always annoying to. Maybe like Oxford Circus, I'll put that there, even though I've probably been maybe a couple of times over the last year. And do I like pie? Well, if it's doesn't have meat in it, and if it's preferably vegan now, as I've gone back to doing, then yeah, I do like pie. When filming, what camera do you use, or what equipment do you use? Justin Hammer asks. Filming wise, right now, I'm using a Canon G9X, and I also have a Canon 60D, which is like a DSLR thing. It's much more easier using this smaller one than the Canon 60D, because it's more technical if I want to manually shoot things. I guess when I'm recording videos, I use mainly Game Shadow, sometimes OBS Studio, and I used to use Fraps before. And I edit with Power Director 17, I think, or 16, I don't know, one of those. When you start train spotting, what stations would you be most excited to film at? No one left the name for that one. Oh no, actually no, they did. That's all. Oh, it's all part of Justin Hammer's. I've put multiple questions. He also asked, when you start train spotting, what stations would you be most excited to film at? Who gave you the idea to do the Let's Play videos? Who did you get the influence from? And what's your favourite bus in London? As I said 4 years ago, I was going to do a train spotting series. That obviously didn't come to pass. Maybe I might pick that up maybe this year. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of maybe want to stray away from doing gameplay videos and maybe do some more in real life videos. I don't know, we shall see. People have been asking me if I'm going to do any more vlogs on the vlog channel or any ASMR on the ASMR channel. I don't know, I'll see how I'm feeling. It's all go with the flow with me, basically. Who gave you the idea to do Let's Play videos and the influence? I've answered this in my first Q&A video, and that was pretty much me. Not to be naive or selfish here or take any credit from potentially anyone that did influence me, but I kind of wanted to do it. I didn't look at anyone. When I started my Cities Emotion 2 Let's Play video, no one was doing it, and I thought to myself, this is a space that I could take. I don't see anyone else doing it, and I kind of like this game, and I want to show people like gameplay of it and stuff like that. And that's basically how it all started. And even before I did gameplay stuff, I was doing tech videos, and I just basically loved the whole idea. Before even YouTube, I just liked recording myself, like teaching whoever, which was no one at the time, and I just like the whole kind of thing of, you know, recording myself doing, like, teaching stuff, doing stuff, and making video content. So that's basically how I got the influence. I got it from myself. It just developed over time, basically. Favorite bus in London? I don't go on buses. Simple as that. Ben Carter 14 asks me, what is my favorite tube line? Probably the Bakerloo line. Love it because it's my local line, and also it is cool that it's now it's the line that has the oldest stock. Parfait_15 wants me to list the consoles that I've owned. So the very first console I owned was a PlayStation 1, which my grandma from Croatia got me. Probably she's the reason why I even got into any sort of kind of gaming, so I owe it to her in some retrospect that she basically got me into gaming, not even my own mother. My mother never got me any of like the consoles and stuff like that I own. It was mainly my grandma and then myself once I basically started earning money, basically. But I owned a PlayStation 1, which was bought from her. Then she got me and my sister, she got us Game Boy Advanced SPs. And that was my favorite kind of like handheld console. I had the really deep midnight blue Game Boy Advance SP. I loved it so much, and then someone at school literally broke it because they couldn't complete a level on a game, and that really pissed me off because it was my favorite thing, my favorite color. It was so good. Then I got myself a PlayStation Portable, PSP, and I had two of them. The first one I got from China, which was a blue one again, because I had this really strong, I loved all these kind of blue consoles and stuff like that at the time. I just loved blue, and I wanted a blue PSP, which obviously wasn't available in the UK market, so I think only the white and the black one at the time was available. So I, looked on eBay or whatever, looked in China, I was like, oh, they're selling it, and they're selling it slightly cheaper. I got it, started playing with it, it was all great, and then it just stopped working one day, and I was like, oh, and then basically I ended up then getting a normal black one, and that was my kind of PSP sort of thing. And then after that, it pretty much, I think after that, I don't know, there was probably a huge gap between when then I didn't get a PlayStation 2, I then went to PlayStation 3, got myself a PlayStation 3, and that's when I got into like FPS shooters and stuff like that at the time, and that was like those were the days, and I missed them so much, of just like coming home and just logging on to Modern Warfare 2 or something like that with friends, and it was the best. Those were the kind of days. And then after that, I think it just basically, I think I got a 3DS at some point, which I never really played that much, and then we got a Wii, and oh no, the Wii came actually before the PS3. I do apologize, I'm mixing up my timelines, but I had a Wii, and that's when I played Call of Duty for the first time, and then on the PlayStation with the other games. And then at some point I got a Wii U, and then after that it was pretty much then I think a PlayStation 4 at some point. It was then PC basically, in terms of like most of the kind of gap between the Wii U, PlayStation 3. It was a PC mainly, and I was actually skeptical when I should actually get a PS4. I didn't, like, when it came out I didn't get it, and then I waited a good few years, and then when I was in university I took advantage of like the student Amazon discounts, and I bagged myself like a new PSP Slim for like 140 quid, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's my kind of console timeline for you, so thank you for asking. He also asks, how do you get the name QwertyAfro? And what do you like to do in your spare time when I'm not doing university work? Well, I'm not in university anymore, so sorry about that. And where did I get the name QwertyAfro? I've said this quite a long time. Loads of people ask me where I get the name from. It was nothing special. It was just when I always had my gamer tag names with something with Afro in it. Like my PSN was like Mr. Afro, and then when I started playing League of Legends on PC, I had like the name Afro Samurai, and then when I swapped servers, because I was on League of Legends as different servers, I was on the East server, and then we swapped over to the West server, and I couldn't keep my name, so I made a new name, but I just looked down at my keyboard, I was like, what can I have with Afro? And then I was like, oh, let's see if QWERTY and Afro works. It worked, and to this day that's the name I kind of used when I kind of switched over from using my old YouTube name into a name that like everyone kind of knows, and it's a cool name that everyone does know, and everyone always loves to ask where it comes from, and that's where it basically comes from. No real kind of like crazy story or whatever. Spare time question was actually by Truckerdro124, but as it said, I don't go to university anymore. I graduated. X2K9 asks, are you looking forward to the new Transpennine trains? They look cool. Their livery is really nice, probably one of the coolest liveries in the network right now. I know 800s on test for them, and there's like the 397s and some of the 68s and stuff like that. So cool stuff for Transpennine. Class 332 or Class 365, probably the 332. What are some things that you don't like about train sim? You can basically watch my whole YouTube career. Anytime I do a train sim video, you can watch one of those and I can explain much more thoroughly to you what I dislike about train sim. What's my favorite TV show? Currently I watch a lot of shows, but currently right now I've just caught up to date with The Good Place, which is on Netflix, and I'm quite enjoying that actually. What was your first job, if you ever had one besides YouTube? My first official job was working at a cinema, which was View Cinema. I don't work there anymore, so I can freely disclose that. Do you like fish? Terrio Potato asks. No, because I don't eat meat. Simple as that. Do you plan on doing any more vlogs, IRL videos? Pinder Productions ask. Possibly, maybe. I do have a lot of vlog footage and stuff of events that I've like attended and stuff, and places that I've gone that I've still haven't really even like uploaded or edited or whatever. I've got a lot of, like, I was looking through my memory sticks, and there's quite a lot of like things from like Croatia, journeys, up with friends to different places that I have vlogged, but I just never bothered really editing and putting up on those channels. ASMR videos as well, maybe, I don't know. It just depends on my kind of creative move and if I want to actually make any more videos, even on this channel. Would you rather earn 10 euros a minute and have to travel on a pacer every day, or earn below minimum wage and have never travelled on a pacer again? Azerbaijan Aviation asks. You know, my naive self a few years ago would probably go with the minimum wage, but you know, 10 euros a minute, you can't really complain with that if you just have to sit on a bus for, you know, maybe 10 minutes of your day. I don't mind that. What's your favourite method of transport? Dave Plays asks, and why? Well, trains, of course. I don't do buses, and maybe I don't have a car currently, but car's nice. But public transport wise, definitely the train, and maybe even the plane. But the train's nice. I use it more than the plane. On the underground, what is your favourite station? FB Gaming 123 asks. Probably Aldgate Station. I quite like it. I like these kind of terminus sort of stations that are like sort of terminuses and not terminus stations at the same time. So Aldgate Station's like a really nice station. I like the kind of old, kind of retro feel of it, and it's kind of like on a tri-junction with the District and the Hammersmith and City line. So that's probably my favourite underground station on the underground network. What would be the last thing you would ever want to do on Earth? Train enthusiasts ask. Probably jump in a volcano. Yeah, that's the geologist side of me talking. What do you think about Finland? Wavelin has asked, as well as, did you ever see the Concorde? Do you have any future career plans? What do you use to record and edit great videos? Do you think man's ever hot? Never hot. Take your nearest book, turn to page 15 and read the third sentence. It's not a question, but do it anyways. Okay, let's go through those ones. First, what do I think about Finland? I don't know. It's cold, I guess. Yeah, I've never been to it, so all I'm thinking about it is that it's cold. Did you ever see the Concorde? Yes, I well, not flying, but I've been to the aerospace museum near Bristol, and I was on the Concorde, went through it, you know, looked at the different engines and stuff like that. It was really cool. I would recommend it definitely. It's such a cool plane and such a different era of travel. And with jet travel, it was just amazing being in it. It was just like being inside history. It was crazy. Do you have any future career plans? Yeah, things are in motion for me. I might or might not disclose them this year. Maybe, I don't know. We shall see. You guys might know. I don't know, but you know, there are things happening for me. What do you use to record and edit great videos? I've answered this. It is Game Shadow mainly right now, and Power Director 17. And do you think man's ever hot? I don't know. If you're from Finland, I'm guessing you're cold. Take your nearest book, turn to page 15 and read the third sentence. I know it's not a question, but do it anyways. Let's do it. Right, I got the book and you're not gonna believe it. But I'm not in my room currently. I'm like in the living room, and there's like the closest books to me are like outside where like my sister's getting rid of like books and stuff on a shelf, and 50 Shades Freed was the closest book to reach, so I need to go to page 15 and read the third sentence. Do that. Page 15. Never read these books, so I know that they can be quite saucy. I don't know what to expect. So page 15, and so the third sentence is, I am so proud of you, honey. You're going to make Christian a very happy man. She pulls me into a hug. That's not bad, to be honest. Like, it could have been a lot worse, but there you go. 15th page, third sentence. Quite actually PG-13, I'm quite glad about that. If you could go back and redo something in life, what would you redo? Beza15 asks. Ooh, that's a toughie actually. What would I redo in... I can't really answer that because like things happen for a reason, you know, so like I don't know, maybe I would have stopped eating meat a lot quicker. Like, I stopped eating meat at around 17, 16, which, you know, that's quite young. But I really wish I could have done it a lot sooner, I guess. That would kind of be my kind of thing. Even though I didn't really eat much meat even when I used to eat meat. But that's something I'd like to have maybe have redone, if I think hard about it. Do you think you will be bored of Train Sim? Dracoin asks. Well, you can see with the lack of content on my YouTube channel, it can answer itself. Would you ever consider doing a sim-related podcast with either me or another sim YouTuber? Criminal Donkey has asked. I don't know, I've always pondered about the idea of a podcast. It's something that I do. I liked talking with people, and it's something that I've looked into even maybe potentially doing. I don't know if you guys would love me to do something like a podcast, because I definitely think there's a lot of topics and stuff within this kind of community that we can talk about. One thing I've been really like even reading into recently is the whole thing with privatization versus nationalization of the railways in the UK, and it's just such a fascinating topic itself, and there's so much that I've like read into with like different papers and studies and just general kind of like news coverage of it, and just the kind of different sides and pros and cons for it, and I don't know, stuff like that I would love to maybe even potentially one day do a podcast. I don't know, we shall see. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Right, we're now on to questions from Facebook. So this is probably the latest questions, even though there's actually not many. I'm obviously not that active, so I'm not surprised that not many people have asked me questions, and they might include some of the things that I did filter out from the QWERTY forms kind of stuff. So I apologize if I've missed that out, if you asked something from QWERTY forms, but these people just asked recently, so we'll dive in. What got you into the simming community? Stephen Hall asks. It wasn't really anything that really made me go into it straight away. It just kind of naturally happened when I started, you know, doing coverage and stuff like that of simulation sort of games like Train Sim and then OMSI and stuff like that. So it wasn't really something that like, how did I get into it? It just naturally happened through just doing content and stuff like that. If you have a chance to come up with your own OMSI 2 and Train Simulator map route, what would it be and why? Tom Bradford. These are the questions I'm sorry, but I just don't have time for. Like, I pondered around with different answers and stuff over the years. I don't really play OMSI 2 anymore really to care much of what I would put into it. There's nothing really I would want to see personally right now. If you asked me a couple of years ago when I was active in OMSI, maybe I would have given an answer, but now there's nothing really to answer. In Train Sim, anything. At this point, anything. I'm not really. nothing's excited me really with Train Sim. Anything really that comes out is a great bonus to someone. Think of it like that. Thoughts on Tourist Bus Simulator, Jamie Drews asks. I've not played it. I've been offered like a key for it, but I've not really touched it or done anything with it. I'm guessing from what I've seen of it, it basically is some sort of kind of extension to Fernbus in a way that it's basically the fundamental blocks of Fernbus, but just built up as a different game with the kind of different management system of running a tourist company, which looks interesting, but I've seen people saying that it does get a bit boring because it's just like on an island and that's it. If you could create a simulation game, what would it be? Ricky Novice. I would want a really good ship simulator game. That's something I've been craving for quite a bit since like Ship Simulator Extremes. So if I was to do something, I'd probably take a whack at doing a good ship simulator, because to be honest, most of the other kind of simulations are done okay. Like, they're not perfect like Train Sim or like OMSI or Lotus as it's now, or FSX or Prepared or stuff like that. You pretty much, for most modes of transport, have a good simulator out there that's actually okay to play. But ship simulators are kind of left in the dark with like having old games like Ship Simulator Extremes or Ship Simulator 2008 or whatever, I don't know, but I'd love to have a good whack at a ship simulator, probably. These are now questions from the YouTube community that I posted on the YouTube tab on my channel. A few questions here. One from Fortnite. He says, when will you upload? Well, I've uploaded right now, so that counts. FIFA fan asks, what football/soccer team do you support? I'm not really into football, but I've answered this already. The team that I would support and that I did support kind of before, kind of like fully, but now if you just ask me if I just if like I was gonna talk into football conversation, it'll probably be Liverpool, and that's it. I don't really know much else. I don't know the kind of talks and the kind of stuff going around with football, so I can't really comment. I don't know if they're doing well or not. They might be, they might not be. I don't really care, but that's the team that I would support if I was into football. Ericat asks, and Brian Wood, why are you so inactive and what happened to the channel? I'm guessing it's just the kind of, the passion there is not really there anymore for me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna force myself to make videos. I know I have a big following, and it's not I've already said this, and I already made a specific video about this, and it's actually a vlog on my vlog channel about like why I don't really owe anything to YouTube. I'm good. Like, if I don't want to make videos, I don't want to make videos. I know people have subscribed to my channel, but at the end of the day, it's what I like doing, and if I don't like doing it anymore, then I'm not going to do it anymore, or I'm not going to do it as frequently as I did before, when, you know, I did like it at one point, like, where I was doing it a lot. But now I've come to a point in my life where it doesn't really satisfy me as much. It really was, YouTube for me was so good in that period of my time when I was like a young teenager, going through teenagehood, then going through young adulthood, and now like I'm now a proper young adult. And for me, the best time was when I was a teenager, when I was really just like getting to know myself, building up myself through like school and college and then university. It really, like, it was just a great thing to have there as a hobby, and really, you know, I had the passion for it. But now over the years, it's just been sort of dying out, and we'll see. I don't know, never say never, like, you know, the passion might come back. I don't know if I'll ever fully quit YouTube, but you could sort of say I'm sort of semi-quit YouTube at this current moment. Will OMSI to return? M-Phil Bus Enthusiast Explorer Smith and Wendy Ferry asks, if it'll ever return, it's when Reese finishes OMSI London add-on, and, you know, I don't know when that's going to happen, don't see when that's going to happen, and for me, that's the only time I would consider coming back to OMSI 2. Now, just finally to round up is some questions from Twitter. Do you think Dovetail Games can take Train Sim World to its highest potential? At Archie Parent asks. Probably, if they really put their minds to it. Right now, I don't really see anything interesting or anything eye-catching that would just be like luring me back in to really go back to it full time with Train Sim, because it's just the same sort of stuff. What is your most favorite route and train to travel on in the real world? Cody at Cody Sale asks. I've not really been on much trains. That's the issue. Like, I can't really I've not really been on much. Like, I like trains, but I've actually not been on many. Like, I like the journey that I've done recently up to see my friend in university in Bath, using the GWR on the IETs. That's a really nice like ride up there. That's the kind of thing that I think would be, for me, of the routes and stuff that I've actually been on in real life, would be like, I guess, my favourite. But my non-favourite, or my favourite, that's like one that maybe I've never been on but I'd love to go on, is like the West Highland line or something like that in Scotland. A lot of Scottish routes are really like fascinating and interesting. So I guess kind of like that, I don't know. And finally, last question. I know it's been long, guys, but you know, this is your bit of content here for you. What UK route and stop would you most like to see next in Train Simulator? At Jake C. Williams asks. Well, we're going to leave it there. No, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me right now. I'm not. I don't know. I don't care, really, to be honest. I don't care what they release out, to be honest. I've not really been following much what Dovetail Games have been doing, so I can't really answer that really truthfully with a smile on my face. So I'll just say any route that someone else will like. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed QwertyAfro's Q&A number 2. We're here, we finally did it after almost 4 years. I do apologise that it's taken so long. If you guys leave me some more questions in the comments of this video, maybe we'll hopefully this year have another one. I hope so. And maybe if you guys like it, then do let me know, and yeah, we'll do some more. But again, with the channel, I don't know if I'm going to be doing much uploads and stuff like that. We shall see. Tell me your thoughts. Maybe if I should do like something like a podcast. That would interest me a lot more nowadays than the kind of conventional videos and stuff that I have been doing on the channel. And in general, that's really it. Like, I hope everyone's had a lovely 2018 and a lovely Christmas and a lovely New Year. And I hope 2019 is going to be as exciting for you as it will be for me. And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys take care, have a lovely day, and hopefully I'll see you in a video soon. Maybe another Q&A. Number 3 will hopefully not be as long as the distance between number 1 and number 2. But you know me on this channel, you know. That's the kind of deal that you get when you press subscribe on my channel. It's inconsistency. It used to be consistent, but it's inconsistency. Will streams return? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Don't even know why I did this video. It was a spring of the moment. So, hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, guys. I will see you soon, potentially. Bye.